Hey guys, Big J here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, week 4's done and dusted, and we're going to do a bit of a team review and see how we went. This week we scored 2,156 points. Wasn't too bad, but it wasn't the best. There was definitely some much higher scores. I think I avoided a bit of the hump, but as you can see, there's going to be some changes this week. We're currently inside the top 2%, which is really good, and we jumped up a thousand spots, so can't complain about that. And the really good thing, which I'm happy about, is the team value keeps going up, and it's going up by a decent amount. So it's about 600k every week. It's not too bad. It's definitely going to slow down, but the way that Supercoach works, when you've got a full premium team, you want to try and have around that 12.5, 3 million or 13 million value side. So I'm slowly getting there, which is really good. Let's quickly check out the team. So, in the back line, Lloyd did okay. I think he's slowing down a little bit. Some people are saying that maybe you shouldn't have started him. I'm still going to say you should have started him. Sometimes Lloyd just does Lloyd things, and you watch, he's going to go pop out at 130 this week. So if you didn't have him, you're in trouble. Ridley's really good. I think he's going to be D1 this year, which is really nice considering we brought him in. So can't complain about that. Short actually bounced back quite heavily. I thought that Hooley was going to interrupt his scoring, was going to take a lot of the points, but they actually shared quite well, and they both scored the same, or both scored over 100, so can't complain about that. Stewart was really good, can't complain with the 100 score, and oh man, I'm glad I brought Jiath in. That 109, I think it could have been higher. Watching him on the field, he just gets cheap possessions, and it's just great. His kicks are really effective, it looks like. Doesn't turn over the ball much, so can't complain. Daniel, boy. Well, we know what's going to happen this week. As you saw from the thumbnail, I think he's got to go. So when I do my review, then he's going to go. So we'll see how it goes. In the midfield, McRae did really well. Great VC option. As you can see, he basically scored the highest this week from the team, so really nice picking him up early. A little bit worried about Merritt. He just waits for the ball on the outside, and I almost wish I didn't pick him over someone like a Steele or Oliver, but it's week 4 going into week 5. Like, you just got to hold on to him now. Led did really well. Got tagged by Kane Turner for most of the game. Punched him in the face. Didn't get suspended. I don't know how that works when Cunnington gets a bump and then they try and give him 1 week, but what can you do? Goulden slowed down a little bit this week. I think it's going to affect his scoring. If we just go over to Supercoach Plus, his break-evens jumped up a little bit, which is a bit sad, but I think he should still be fine. So no complaints. Clark's doing Clark things. Got to trade him out in a couple of weeks, but right now just riding the wave. And for the amount of mid prices like Dom Tyson that we started with, Clark's actually been a good one. So no complaints. Oh, big Tommy Powell. Boys, watching this kid play, it's insane. I'll put up some video footage later from Tom Powell from this week and last week, but his handballs and his skills are just insane. There's one part during the game where he just like basketball bounced the ball to himself and then handballed it out, and it's great pickup. Jordan was a bit of a flop this week. Some people are saying that he just got stuck on the bench, but he had really low time on ground. So I think he's got to be a bench option this week. I think I'm going to keep him. His break-even's not too low. Sorry. His break-even's not too high. Should make a bit of money. But I'm really wary this year about the rookies that we've got playing. Because Vic players didn't play last year. So a lot of them are going to be really slow. So if you're in the team, you almost have to keep them. Jordan will bounce back. He's only on 200k, so once that 24 cycles out in a couple of weeks, he should still be good. So they seem to like him. I was a little bit worried with Viney coming back into the side, what Jordan's job security would be like, but I think he's okay. He might get kicked out when Ben Brown and Weedman come back, but we'll see how we go. Fife, best captain so far. I would have liked to have Comben, but we didn't start with him, so too bad. And on the bench, Berry, Brockman and Scott. A little bit worried about Scott, but I think he's going to bounce back. And for a 100k rookie, if he plays every week, you can't complain. So, Gawn and Grundy. Gawn did did really well. No complaints. I think he's actually set to price rise this week, which is crazy considering for those people that didn't start him. $900 is off, and then he's going to bounce back. So, yeah, a little bit worried about Grundy. We've really got to start looking at the matchups when we pick him for VC. I'm glad I didn't do it, but against big-bodied ruckman, I want to say forwards, against big-bodied ruckman like a Steph Martin in round 1, and even Mumford last week, he just gets pushed out of the contest, and he doesn't have the backup in Cox. Well, Cox can't back him up for him to take a bit of the pressure off. So he's getting pushed around in the contest, and therefore he doesn't really run around as much in other positions like Gawn does. So you'll never see Grundy really staying in the forward line trying to kick a goal or back down in defence. He might rotate there, here and there, but yeah, it's pretty tough. Really hoping Flynn comes back. He's got a lot of money to make, and having 200k sitting on the bench doing nothing doesn't really help. So at least we didn't start with him as R1, R2. So dodge those bullets. Dunkley did really well. Dustin Martin, I would have liked a bit more from him. I'm hoping he bounces back, but Dusty seems to be very much gets 100, gets a 120, drops down to like a 70, and then that rotates here and there. So you could pick him up at a cheaper price later on in the season. I should have gone for a higher priced midfielder, but what can you do? Zeebel's doing really well, down back. His position seems to be pretty set, and he's not going to lose any value. He might jump actually up to a 500k in a couple of weeks. What's his break even? Let's just quickly check. So, negative 28, which is insane. He was a sub 250k rookie, and he's going to be 500k in 3 weeks. Come on, guys. If you didn't start him, if you didn't bring him into your team, what are you doing? Impey did really well. Seems to get those cheap possessions off the halfback, which we love. They literally stand there and say, hey, come behind me, quick, get the ball. We need more points. Yeah, so it does really well for Supercoach. I think he's going to be a keeper. I think Zeeble and Impey are actually doing really well, so I'm happy those two are keepers. Kind of makes up for the fact that I've had some pretty shit starts and really shit players to start with, so no complaints. Sydney rookies. So Warner did really well. I think I would have liked a little bit more of a score, but for a kid who's just started at 18, you can't really complain. And Campbell. Glad he bounced back from the 20 odd he had last week, but he's really struggling for points. I think that we're just going to have to ride the wave. If he ends up being like 350k or over 300 mark, we might see about looking after him, get rid of him. But right now, what are you going to do with 250? Maybe get 100k out of him if you trade down to like a McRae next week, but it's really not what you're looking for. So, yeah, what can you do, guys? And the break-even 71. So, he's got that score of 20, but when that cycles out in a couple of weeks, his scoring's really going to bounce back. And that's the big thing with these rookies this year. Even holding Cozzy and things like that, we just don't get the rookies this year like we've had in previous years. We haven't had a big influx of like 5 rookies starting, so we've really got to hold on to what we have, because you don't want donuts, especially in defence. Like, most people are holding 2 non-playing rookies. It's crazy. I won't be next week. If Cozzy doesn't play next week, or he doesn't play this week and jump up in value, I think I'm going to drop him for Jones. But I hate seeing DNP on the bench, and it really kills your cash generation. And some teams I've seen have had 4 or 5 guys down here. 3's not bad because most people have Flynn, but 4 or 5 guys that just aren't making money. And when it comes around 6 to 8, comes those times when you really want to start cashing in, where you really want to start making money and upgrading your team. You just can't do it. Or it's 1 rookie down, 2 rookies down, and maybe you get a 500k guy. It doesn't work, yeah? So, the trades this week, what we're going to do. I'm really annoyed with myself. Last week I should have got Chapman, and this week got Waterman, and it would have actually meant that I could have picked someone up like a Jack Steele, but live and learn, hey. So this week we're not going to do much. We'll hold on to a trade, but we're going to go Daniel, and we're going to go and pick up 1 week late, but it's okay. The job security's there, the scoring's there. I actually watched the game because I was watching Jiath, but Chapman gets a lot of cheapy possessions, and he's really skinny, I don't know about you guys, but I think he's pretty small. Like, he's tall, but he's small. So, I didn't really notice him on field. And to get a 91 is pretty good. Freo's got the injuries down back, so I'm happy just to keep him there. Alright, and complete trade. Cool. So, let me know how you guys did in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next week. Bye.